Subramaniam Shankar, my triplets. Maturity models, okay, has always been a way forward for most of the organizations. Okay, it all started with the capability maturity model from Software Engineering Institute. Many of the organizations, okay, which has implemented the Software Engineering Institute (CMM), okay, and levels, okay. I think initially you had to go to the level 3, and then you had to go to the level 5. And for good or bad, I had been living with the SCI CMM since 1997. Okay, and I worked as a part of the Wipro Technologies, which is the first CM level 5 company in the world. Okay, so I know the maturity levels, okay, will always help the organization, okay, to have a very controlled environment and working. It was adopted by the cyber security. Okay, we had cyber security maturity model. Okay, now the RIMS have also come up with what is called the risk maturity model. Now, the risk maturity model is not a cyber risk maturity model. It's an enterprise risk maturity model that can be adopted to the cyber security risk. Okay, in fact, if you ask me, if you apply the concepts of ISO 31K, okay, it's exactly what the NIST risk management framework, okay, is going to address to. Okay, similarly, the RIMS, okay, the risk maturity RMM is also in line with the same principles. Okay. Let's have a look at RMM. This is very important for your CISSP examination. Not in depth as what this fault tree analysis FMEA basically is, an RMF is. Okay, and though there are 19 different types of threat modeling techniques, only slide and pasta, okay, and are very relevant with respect to the CISSP examination. And similarly, risk maturity model is something which rarely you will get a question on, but it's always better to have it. Okay, it's like a Murphy's law. You ignore something thinking, okay, it's not very important. Exactly, you'll have a question in the examination on that particular topic. Okay, let's be prepared. It's wonderful to learn for CISSP. It's also wonderful to learn it for your daily life. Okay, you be from IT or non-IT, security and non-security, it's all fine. It's an enterprise risk management framework. It's a maturity model based on that. Let me share my screen, okay, so that we can discuss upon this further. Thank you. Risk maturity modeling. So the rims.org is the site in which you can go. It's the official owner of this or inventor of this maturity model. And you can go to that particular website and then you can refer to the further documentation on the rims. Developed by Risk and Insurance Management Society. So basically, the BFSA domain. Okay, evaluates the organizations across the multiple pillars and attribute, okay, considered essential for the mature risk management. It is not only addressing ITS, it's the enterprise risk management technique, right? So it addresses a lot of aspects towards the risk, okay, which we'll be discussing on the further slides. Okay, uses 5 levels of maturity, level 1 to level 5. We will see what these 5 levels are. Provides a detailed report to the risk or to detailed reports to guide the organization in improving the security. If you personally ask me, if you're going for a SOC 2, okay, SOC 2 is also a maturity-based model. And this RIMS RMM will definitely help you. Even if you're not going for SOC 2, okay, NIST is also something which is a maturity-based model. Even if you're going to apply it for ISO 27001, okay, you can improve. Though ISO 27001 does not explicitly mention about the maturity, it's always better that we have that with us. Okay, so nobody is going to ask us to secure a house. Okay, we are securing it because we have got the assets, right? Irrespective of the information security or cyber security framework that we are actually going to follow, it's always better that we are prepared for it. In that particular aspect, RIMS RMM is definitely going to help us. Structured approach, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and it'll give you where you are now, where you have to actually go. Okay, the maturity models, level 1 to level 5, is clearly a direction forward for you. Key features, assess the assessment tools. Okay, it gives you an evaluate the current state of the organization, where you're actually going to go. And maturity level is given to you. Pillars, okay, it addresses the risk governance, risk culture, risk process, risk technology, process, people, and technology. Okay, so PPT or PTP, TPP. Okay, there are people who will also address the supply chain. They'll say people, process, technology, and partners. Okay, PPTP, okay, or PTPP, howsoever you want to sequence this as. But first is the people. Okay, if people are not there, then nothing exists. Even if the process is not there, technology is missing or the partners are missing. Okay, it is going to address only the maturity. If the people themselves are not there, okay, the organization doesn't exist. So people come first. Then comes the technology, then the process, then the partner. There are also organizations that exist without the partner support. Okay, so PTP is what I would say. But given the organizations are huge in size, okay, partners are also a part of it. Okay, when I say partners, you can also look at the vendors, suppliers, etc. as a part of it. And benchmarking where you are at the moment, where you want to go. If you look at the ITL, okay, we all say service strategy, service design, transition, operations, continual service improvement, right? Whenever you say about the maturity, okay, ISO 20K or ITL becomes indispensable because ITL speaks about the maturity. Numbers cannot be wrong, okay, is a very popular saying. Okay, but again, unless otherwise you tweak the numbers yourself. Okay, so numbers cannot be wrong. Okay, the numbers are given to you only by the ITIL. In fact, if you look at the level 3 of the RMM, okay, we are going to speak about the numbers. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Roadmap for the improvement, strategic alignment, blah, 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 etc. Now, this slide is very important. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. Level 1 is ad hoc, that means unplanned. Level 2 is developing or evolving. Okay, basic frameworks and processes established, but not fully integrated. That means it is there, but people are not following, okay, for their business as usual. In level 3, okay, people are following it for the business as usual. So risk management processes are documented, standardized, integrated into the operations. That means you want to create a user profile. Okay, there's a service request. Modify the user profile. Okay, then there's going to be a change or a service request. You want to request for something, service request, and there's an incident management team. There's a problem management team. Okay, the entire ITL is actually in place. It is integrated. People are actually using it. Okay. Now, if you're going to say that, okay, if you're going to have a monthly report, weekly report, daily report saying these are the incidents that have been reported, these are incidents that have been overshot. Okay, it has overshot the SLA. Okay, and then you do a root cause analysis to find all these things. Okay, you do a trend analysis. If you're going to measure, okay, the incidents, if you're going to measure the problems, changes and service requests, that means you are on level 4. But if you're going to do a trend analysis, okay, I mentioned trend analysis for the level 4, but for the level 5, if you're going to do a trend analysis and take an action, okay, to continuously improve upon your incidents or problems or changes and service requests, okay, that means you're on level 5. This is called as optimized. Okay, so BCQRST is what I always say: increasing the benefits, reducing the cost, increasing the quality, reducing the risk, increasing the scope, and reducing the timelines. Okay, so if you're going to do this BCQRST, that means you are to the target. Okay, you are to the target. Okay, that means you are continuously improving. When you continuously improve, what you're going to have is you're going to have an optimized team size. Okay, and the remaining team can be used for some other purposes within the organization. So your return on the investment, okay, return on the security investment, ROCE or ROI, okay, it's going to be really good for the organization. That's what the leadership actually needs. That's what the business needs. Okay, if the business is doing good, the employees will start doing good because they're going to have a better salary. Okay, so having a risk-based approach, implementing risk maturity model is always best for the organization, especially for the cyber security, because I'm from the security side. And this CISSP. So benefits of RMM provides a clear understanding of the current risk management, where do you actually go, and facilitate the communication with the leadership. Okay, you can map it to a particular level, explain to the management, okay, which level we are actually working on. This is very true, okay, especially if you want to go do an certified information security risk officer with us, or if you want to do an certified risk officer training with us, even for your CSSP, it's better to always understand what the RMM is. Helps prioritize the investment, support the compliance and regulatory requirements, because the reports that you are actually sent across for the RMM is going to support you for the regulatory requirements also. Okay, for example, GDPR, there is an privacy attack. You are reporting to the supervisory authority. Supervisory authority is going to do a due diligence to see whether you have a matured process in place. If you're already on RMM level 5, that means you have the matured process in place. Okay, so the penalty will either not there, or it will be very negligible. Okay, because there's always something called the zero-day attack. In spite of you putting in the best of the effort for the risk management and also the best of the security controls, there could be a situation where the hacker or the attacker is going to find the loophole and penetrate your IT infrastructure and steal the data. That is called a zero-day attack if you're going to face the first thing in the world. Okay, first time in the world. Okay, that means there's no solution for it. Okay, I'm ensuring that I have the best of the defenses in place, but the vulnerability sneaks through it. Okay, you cannot help it. In that particular case, the supervisory authority will understand that you have taken the best of the effort to secure infrastructure, you're on RMI, RMM level 5. Okay, and then you're, let's say, on capability cyber security maturity model on a level 4, okay, or level 5, okay, whatever you want to do it, okay, but still something has happened. That means, okay, you will not be facing a penalty. Enhances the organization resilience and decision making. Okay, resilience is bouncing back if at all you are attacked. Okay, so the most important aspect of the risk management is to ensure that you are not hit with an incident, but in case you are hit, okay, bouncing back is something we need to support you. Okay, because the prevention is the best. Okay, if at all the prevention doesn't happen, how do you bounce back? It what the resilience is. When the resilience is actually in progress, okay, the amount of you should also do a risk assessment to ensure that the tools, the PPTP available for you to bounce back, okay, should be available and ready. Demonstrate the accountability and due diligence. Okay, accountability, due diligence in managing the risk. Okay, next. Using the risk maturity model, you conduct the self-assessment, you find out where you currently are and where do you want to go, identify the gaps, okay, when you are doing the conducting the gap analysis, okay, so when you are conducting the self-assessment, you'll be in a position to identify the gap analysis. You engage the leadership and the teams to actually fix it, okay, so avoid, transfer, mitigate, and accept the risk treatment plan that you have actually got. So when you're transferring it, you are transferring it to a third party to fix it for you, or the cyber insurance, okay, the best way, the best example for the risk transfer. And track the progress of the risk treatment plan implementation, and use the reports that you're using for tracking the implementation plan, and what is the level of risk maturity that you have got for the moment for your regulatory complaints. If the auditors, regulators, and auditors are going to ask you, okay, for the complaints report, okay, they'll be surprised, okay, there with something called the regulatory risk maturity model, because the most of the auditors, okay, I'm an auditor myself, okay, most of the auditors, we look at the risk register, okay, to see, when have you done the risk identification, okay, how many risks are open, okay, and what is it that you actually got, what is it you actually have, and what is your plan of action, who's the risk owner, etc. But if you're going to show me a report on the risk maturity model, I'll be delighted. That means the organization is really serious implementing the cyber security. Okay, so that's all on RMI risk maturity model. You can go to the rmi.org for more information. And this video is actually done based on a request from one of the CISSP aspirants. And I think we'll have a separate series of videos on threat modeling and then cyber security risk. Okay. Thank you very much. This is Subramaniam Shankaran from IEEE. Thanks for joining me for CISSP Made Easy, Subbu Teaches CISSP video series. Subscribe and continue to watch. Join me for the world's winning CISSP training, offline and online. Thank you very much. Cheers and bye-bye.